Introduction to the Lost Librarian. Before we start on some of the design principles in this class, I would like to give you a brief introduction to the Lost Librarian. For those of you that haven't had the chance to experience the installation for yourselves yet, I hope this will give you a bit of context to some of the topics and examples I will discuss later. The regional tour version of this installation was originally due to be launched in May 2020, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to put the build of the installation on hold and go into a redesign of the installation to ensure it met health and safety regulations. This brought about the introduction of the books being housed on 3 podiums and the experience being moved from the library floor to a confined room. Behind me, you can see an example of this, which I will show you in more detail now so you can see how we combined elements of story, technology, and design. So, the Lost Librarian is a narrative-led interactive puzzle trail. As I said before, it's housed on 3 of these podiums with 3 to 4 books on each podium. So this is the first podium and it has 4 books on it. The story is so important to the Lost Librarian. It's what we really wanted to get people engaged with and excited about. It's essentially a mystery story with Molly, who's our contemporary librarian, leading you through the puzzles. The other storyline is a historical one, making the whole piece bespoke to Exeter itself by focusing on the Exeter witch trials, but we wanted to do it as a fictional retelling, so it is made up. Inside each book, we have a narrative page and a puzzle page. The narrative page is made up of notes from Molly, which is this engraved section, showing kind of like that she's made these books and she's the one that's leading you through the whole thing. The other pieces are kind of like historical artifacts or quotes from the witch trials. So it gives you a bit of that historical context, and also we've hidden in those aspects little clues to help you solve the puzzles or learn a bit more about why these puzzles are here in place. On the puzzle page, it varies from different technologies. Every book has a different technology within inside it. The technology within inside this book is actually a magnetic viewfinder, which is 2 pieces of plastic with metal filings within inside it. And then underneath this page is some magnets hidden to show you where the correct answer is. For this clue, it says, place the looking glass against the jars to find which ingredient rings true. So we've got a series of herbs here, and that again is leaning into the kind of storyline of these witches and the fact that they used herbalism as natural remedies. So we've got fennel, deadly nightshade, rosemary, sage, chamomile, and nettle. And as we move the magnetic viewfinder across the page, you start to see this dark ring appear. And that is just a ring of magnets hidden underneath the wood so that you can't see it in plain sight. But as you move the viewfinder across it, all the metal filings respond to those magnets and gather, showing you where the answer is. So as players were to go forwards, they know that sage is one of the answers that they need for the next tier. From the design perspective of the Lost Librarian, I wanted to create something that brought in the medieval aspect as well as the modern day. So I've decorated the pages with these kind of ornate borders, mimicking medieval manuscripts, but I fused it with the fact that we're using electronics and modern day technology. So the actual decorative designs are made up of kind of these shapes that mimic circuitry design. And I've also done them in different color schemes across the tiers. So the first tier here, which is herbalism, is these nice earthy tones using a kind of orange terracotta and an olive green. When the books change to astronomy and astrology, I use colours that are more like space. So there's like a nice blue and an off-white. And then for the astrology, it's an emerald green and a yellow. And then for the final book, as it's so special, I used gold. The Lost Librarian was really important to me, Matt and Kyle, as it tied in all of our interests together. We were able to combine Matt's love of storytelling, all of our love of game playing and engaging people in this way, as well as Kyle's passion for creative technology and repurposing technology that we all use every day. Like the touch wood is essentially what everyone has on their phones these days, but it's making this wood responsive to people touching it instead of it being a screen. We wanted these things to be beautiful to handle, so we've taken a lot of time and care to finish them really beautifully. The wood itself is really smooth, and they're just a beautiful piece to behold. We're really proud of what we've achieved here, and we really hope that you enjoy playing it.